What's going on, everybody? How you doing? Welcome to Heroic Liberation of Undermine, and we're here to go after Sproketmonger Lockenstock, and this was our community kill, and I want to say thank you, everybody. This was an interesting and probably one of the most exciting fights we did. So, first thing we're going to talk about here is we lusted on pull, and we kind of just went at it. Everyone just went high DPS, high damage, and we just went for it. Now, the reason for that is we just wanted to push as hard as we possibly could. We had, for our rotation on the mines, we had both of our tanks grabbing one. So in the first rotation, it was tank 1, tank 2, and one of our healers because it was ranged. Deal with it. It was perfect. It was fine. Worked really well. From there, we ended up, just going through the process, watching the beams, watching the stuff, checking everything out, kind of as we were going through the process. Now, we end up having the wire transfer here, which means we end up having to go to the other side. Now, going to the other side, it was kind of, this is all like really new to us. It was our first night trying to do it. Making sure the drills were going to the outside so that they were out of the way of everybody. Kind of just trying to do as much, me personally was trying to do as much DPS while running. Trying to give as much distance to the tanks as possible. And, just going through it. So, we end up having rockets here. We got to be careful of them as they're going to do a lot more damage to the rest of the team as things explode. I try to use defensives just to kind of deal with that. Here's our second set of mines. The mines, the way that we end up doing it is that we had one of our melee grab it, we had one of our range grab, and then I took the last one. This way, we ended up taking the 3, got them cleared out, and it actually works out really, really well later on also because they end up getting, the same distance. I will also say the magnets are probably the stupidest thing that I've ran into, not once, but twice in 2 different pulls, so be aware of that. There is a set number of rotations going around for everything. After the second mindset, you really want to be careful of the drills. As you can see here, you got to make sure you're going to go and put them across the edge because you don't want to hit them when you're getting knocked back. Stage 2 starts here. Everyone's going to get launched back. We all go into a set position, we get knocked back, and we try to get into that center area. Now, there is a bomb that is moving across the center, so be really, really careful of that as we're going through it. So, we're just going through, trying to deal with all of that, and, I wouldn't recommend going into the sparks like I did. It just happened to be one of those things that I did on accident. So now we're going to start with stage 1 again. It's going to be the same rotation. The only difference is the wire transfers are going to be placed in different spots, so you have to be really, really aware of that with the mines. So we kind of ended up talking about it. The tanks get the 2 close ones. There you go, 1, 2, and then Ash is supposed to go after the one in the back, but this time Gremlin went and hit that one just because Ash was really far away. So we ended up dealing with that. That was cool there. We ended up getting ready for raid damage, so we ended up having this stuff being put out. So people use defensives, kind of going through, trying to make sure we're okay. I stayed very far back because I wanted to make sure I was really in a good spot to deal with the next wire transfer. As you can see here, we get drills. Nobody else is around me. I try to put it on the edge, but, what can I say? Not everything was there. The next thing I end up doing here is we end up having another set of raid damage. We get big beams and rockets that are going to come across. So you end up getting a safe spot, kind of just going through that, dealing with that process. Here is the next set of mines. The next set of mines comes out. And what we end up doing is we have 2 in the melee group, grab those. 1, 2. They ended up grabbing too many there. And then the next one I ended up grabbing. And that's this one. Bing. That one was good. And then we started getting ready for more raid damage being put around. We did have Father Fresh die there, which was really, really not a great thing. And we also just lost the other tank. So right now we're pretty much running on 1 tank, and we're pretty much trying to figure out what we're going to do here. So we end up just continuing to DPS. I could have called a wipe here, but I didn't. I figured we had enough time on timer. We were going to be going into a drill phase, and then we were going to be going into phase 2. So I thought we had enough time to really not worry about it. So thankfully, Belden was able to deal with that. We all took care of the knockback. We tried to make sure that everybody was okay. I do not feel like this was a great knockback location, and it's definitely not my favorite spot. We ended up losing Mud there. We ended up losing Val. We ended up losing Crosis. And, you know, Belden is pretty much staying on by a thread. And we have about 10 seconds. So I already made the call now. Once the timer is up, make sure we get, you know, Sky up, who is our other tank, so that we can get through this process. We have another set of mines, and I kind of had to do that off of the cuff. Now, it gets really dangerous because a lot of people are close. So one person grabbed one, and then another person grabbed another one there, and then I tried to figure it out. Ash grabbed the other one there, and we ended up getting Sky up as Belden died, which was not great. So now we everyone kind of starts getting a little nervous because we're like so close, and it's only our second pull. So we were all trying to do whatever we could do. I tried to get as much distance as possible because I felt like if I ended up getting aggro, I was going to end up pulling the boss to me. And I started getting a little crazy and a little worried, as you could see here. I want to say this is one of the coolest kills. I got the bomb on me, which was not great, and I turtled it, and it would have worked, but I'm stupid, and I ran into a magnet. Ghost surprise. But I want to say this kill was pure luck, and it was purely amazing and so much fun. As you can see here, as the timer's going down, we're watching how things go. The only person that's left is Mono, our healer. He ends up healing himself and is damaging the boss and ends up getting it down as he goes into angel form. Crazy. So, as always, thank you very much for checking out the video. Make sure you hit that thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe. Thank you. I thought it was a very fun kill. It was definitely not expected. So, thanks again, everyone. Have a fantastic week, and we'll get you some new videos soon. Bye, everybody.